hundreds of apartments and offices, a huge parking lot. In the neighborhood, again, look around, it's almost entirely family houses, just 1 or 2 stories tall. And whether or not this gets built, newcomers are moving into this area, especially this part of the ward. You remember Kirk Washington? Remember from the beginning of the show? He lives just a couple blocks from here. And across the street from him, a white couple moved in. In his friend Isaac's old house. And he likes them. He likes them a lot. Says hello.
In 1 mile, exit right, then keep left.
That's the house that Isaac, he's drowned right there in that house right there.
The couple going into the house are Simon Hand and his wife Sarah DeBacher. She's active in the local neighborhood association and popular enough that they elected her vice president and then they elected her president. But it's complicated, being, sort of the face of the changing lower ninth. When our producer Sean Cole talked to Sarah.
Even though she thinks about her race, all the time, Sarah DeBacher is still figuring out how to talk about it. She can have a hard time getting through a sentence without stopping to comment on what she's saying. Like when I asked her why she moved to the Lower Ninth Ward after the storm.
Maybe some of it had to do with guilt and wanting, God, this is sounding gross, wanting to be part of helping in a meaningful way to rebuild.
Which, on the one hand, is noble, of course.
Keep
But on the
left.
other hand, in helping to rebuild a neighborhood that was 88% black before the hurricane, Sarah's worried she'll come across as some white savior asshole.
My role as I don't even want to say my role, who I am as a white newcomer to the Lower Ninth Ward, that identity has been an uncomfortable one for me.
Newcomer should probably be in quotes. Sarah's lived in the Lower Ninth Ward since 2008, so about 3 years after the hurricane. Before that, Sarah and Simon were living upriver from the Lower Ninth, in the Marigny neighborhood next to the French border. But when they decided to buy a house, the Marigny wasn't an option, because after Katrina, it was suddenly totally unaffordable for them. Katrina had a gentrifying effect on a lot of the city. First came the YURPs, or Young Urban Rebuilding Professionals, and after they helped put the city back together, another wave of entrepreneurs and tech workers and creative economy types came in. Sarah and Simon are both teachers, and the Lower Ninth Ward was more in their price range. Besides which, they liked it there.
I don't want to romanticize some of the because neighbors talk to each other, but I mean, that's part of it.
They actually started going to community meetings even before they moved to the Lower Ninth Ward. And ultimately, they bought a $50,000 double shotgun house, financed by an FHA loan for first-time homebuyers, and knocked out the middle wall that separated the 2 apartments. As you're more than aware by now, people in the Lower Ninth Ward are friendly, and they were friendly to Sarah and her husband, but there was definitely a what are you doing here type vibe in the beginning, and even a few years in. She remembers this one night, after her first son was born. It was late, maybe 11 o'clock, and these kids down the way started setting off fireworks.
And my son had colic, and so I was in the trenches with this baby who never stopped crying, and he was asleep, and then these fireworks started going off, and I went out and first talked to the kids and just said, hey, can you maybe do that another time?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a voice from the porch, and she was like, if you have a problem, you can talk to me, you don't talk to my kids. And, touche.
That's fair.
It's fair.
So Sarah says to her, look, you are a mom, I'm a mom,